91X, it's Marty and Danielle here in the 91X studio. We are talking to an OG, a guy who has, out of his own mouth, said that he's started on the radio in San Diego at 91X. We're on with Jack Johnson. Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Hey, good. Nice to be with you guys. Thanks.
Yes. How's life? How are you feeling? I mean, you're in Hawaii right now. The kids are at school, and you're in front of a wall of guitars.
Yeah, things are good. Everything's going good now, but I want to go back to what you were saying. That's no exaggeration. Like, I have so much family in San Diego that the first couple times our song Rodeo Clowns got played, we had like this network of uncles and aunties calling in to be like, play that song again. And it was lucky because we had so much family in the area that was calling in that I think we fooled them that everybody wanted to hear that song or something. It was friends and family definitely helping us out.
Well,
no, but 91X, you guys were the first station to really start playing my music ever. So I can truly claim that.
Yeah, well, you had a really big fan inside the building. Hillary, our music director, was the first person to wave your flag to our program director then. It's a long story. We won't go too far back, but what a great story on how the Jack Johnson rocket has kind of started and been with us for now, 20 years? 23 years?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, right. That was like in 99, I think, 99 when that song was getting played.
Yeah, you had Flake off Brushfire Fairy Tales, and then In Between Dreams. I think we played every song, and Brushfire, I think, on the radio at like some point, right?
Yeah. No, you guys have been amazing. Thank you again.
Oh, no.
I'm so glad I get to do this.
Oh no, it is so cool and honored. I was telling Kizzy, who is one of your handlers, right? One of your people.
Yeah.
That
I wouldn't call her hand. She's like one of my best friends. She would crack up if you called her handler. But she's amazing.
In my home, since you were here, that In Between Dreams Lose Record session that we did, where you played acoustically, and we pretty much stopped traffic. Like, there was people out in the street. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
The train. You've done it a couple times. But I have this giant poster that I ended up snagging from the event and that you signed for me in another visit to the radio station, and I have it up on the wall. And nobody can tell me any different that I have mad love for Jack Johnson. But when Trey Cool of Green Day came in, I definitely I lost all cool punk points at that point.
Yeah. I can take away punk points really quick.
It was a funny story. I tell it all the time because nobody's making me nobody can side-eye me about my love for Jack Johnson. Dude, I also got to share a really fun moment with you. I was allowed to introduce you at the show you did with Ben at the Remac Arena.
Oh, yeah, that
was
fun.
A sold-out show on that lawn over there at the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? And I got the very little taste that you can get being a DJ to what you do as a rock star. Ben had just finished, and then I do the announcement of like, hey, thanks for coming. Food over here, bathrooms over here. Everybody look out for each other. It's a lot more to come. And you got, and everybody, are you ready? Up next, and as the big radio voice, Jack Johnson, and literally 20,000 people roared at me. Never before, never since have I felt what you probably get on a day-to-day and that stoke that you get playing music for people.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I know the exact feeling though. Like, I got to do that when I used to open for Ben Harper back in 2000, like our first run we ever did. And a lot of nights there'd be like Jurassic 5 would be on the bill, or Ozo Motley, and I would get to go up and like a lot of times become good friends with those guys, and they would let me go up and introduce them. Even I would play before them, and then I would come back up and introduce them and do that same thing where you get the yell and the whole crowd goes nuts. And it was, I don't know. I mean, that's about as good as it gets right there. You've already done it. Like, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, right. So you and Ben been friends for a long time. Tell me about the time you and Ben first met. Was it fast friends? Was it you saw each other kind of a little bit and it developed over time? How did that relationship come about? Because you have been touring together over 20 years.
Yeah. Ben gave me an opportunity before I was ready, and it was like one of those things where a friend gets to do that. I told him, I was like, I don't think I'd only played a couple of small clubs at that point, and then he took me out to do this across the country tour, and I kind of told him, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready, and he was like, it doesn't matter. He's like, I'm the guy who gets to choose. Come on, let's go. It's going to be fun. And we became friends because I loved his music and he loved the surf movies I was making. He was a fan of surf and skate culture. I mean, he's a great skateboarder, and we go surfing from time to time. We're on tour and stuff. And so anyways, he loved the movies. And so he he let us use a couple of his songs for some of the movies back in the day. And eventually we got a chance to meet. It was at the Santa Barbara Bowl. And he came up behind me and he started singing the words of that song Flake before it was ever on an album or anything. He had heard the demo. And I just thought it was like one of my other friends, something. I turned around, it was Ben Harper. I almost fainted. Like, I mean, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but seriously, I was looking at one of my all-time heroes musically, and then he's singing my lyrics, and he, anyways, he came into the studio like a week later and played on that song. And yeah, he's just been like a brother in the music world. He's always just kind of taking me up, and like I said before, I was ready. He brought me on tour. I learned so much, not just from Ben, but his whole band. And Juan Nelson, who passed away recently this past year, was great one of the best bass players ever to live. He was so sweet. I'd always see him before the show. He would get the band together, and they would always give thanks that everybody was there that night and hope everybody got home safe. I just saw how much respect they as a band had for the people who had come to the show, and just how appreciative they were. They never took it for granted. And so that stuff all rubbed off on me. I think I learned how to tour from Ben Harper and his crew, and just interacting with the people who are coming to hear your music and that kind of thing. They taught me so much stuff.
Yeah, and
besides dominoes and stuff like that too.
Yeah, together again at the Chula Vista Amphitheater. Looking forward to seeing you both. Let us hear about the process and what was behind your 8th studio record. It's called Meet the Moonlight. Tell us about it, Jack.
Yeah, we had fun making it. I got to work with another musician I really respect a lot, Blake Mills. I had heard a lot of his albums. I didn't realize he produced. At some point, somebody let me know he produces records. And so we just got to talking. We had a lot of good conversations, and then decided to try a week in the studio together with no strings attached, just see how we got along. And we loved it. So we just jumped into like a month of making music, and it was great. And so... yeah, I like how the new record came out. They're always, each one's just like when I put them out, I just kind of hope that they're somebody's favorite. It's weird because you got all these different groups of songs, and they're like kids or something. You don't like one more than the other, but every time I put a new one out, I hope it's somebody's favorite.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we're excited to play some of those new songs. Now we've been doing a bunch of the new songs live, so that's a lot of fun for us.
Danielle's been digging into your social media and your website. I think she's found some nuggets that she wants to ask you about.
Well, I was on your website, and I was looking at all of your merch. And, of course, there's T-shirts, there's hoodies, and I saw the reusable cup. Of course, you're a lot about conservation and recycling for the earth. But I did notice some other fun items, like there was a wooden, spoon set, and there was a laptop sleeve. And I was just wondering, when it comes to your merchandise, do you pick what you want, or do you have a team that's like, hey, do you like this stuff? Do you ever say no on things?
Yeah, that's a good. We have a team of friends. It's hard to describe it any other way. I've been so lucky. I won't rewind too far, but when the whole thing started happening around that Ben Harper time, when he first brought me on a tour, and it all started kind of growing, we realized I was going to need a manager, and so I just kind of picked. Well, my wife, who was the smartest person I knew and was a math major, and one of my best friends, Emmett Malloy, who was making surf films together. So my wife and my best friend basically managed my career. From there, it's like everybody we've ever worked with has just been kind of more friends. We always just find we know so-and-so, and it seems like they know how to do that. And so anyways, it's Kizzy, who you brought up earlier, one of my best friends, and she's on my management team. And so everybody who's making choices around me is always like friends and family first, the business side second. So with those, like the utensil sets you're talking about, those are all my wife and myself and friends just like, what would be cool? What would people kind of dig on at the shows and stuff? And so, yeah, we don't really have like a big merch company or anything like that. We just kind of decide to make things and then get them made and bring them along.
It's really, really unique. I was digging it. I just kept scrolling. I was like, ooh, that's neat. Ooh, I kind of want that too. It was really cool stuff. I have another question for you, Jack. Obviously, San Diego is like a second home to you. When you come back to San Diego, where is the first place that you have to stop the minute you get to town? After you've done your sound check and you have just some time for yourself.
That's a good question. There's certain surf spots that I always go to, but the rule of surfing is you never tell people where you're going. Because for one, you're kind of accepted there by the local surfers and you don't want to change that. And then number two, you just don't want it more crowded than it already is, So there's a few spots that I tend to go to. Rob Machado is a really good friend. he has a lot of boards around, so I always hit up Rob like the day before I get in town, and he gets some boards together and we go somewhere.
That's awesome.
Cardiff. Yes.
Hey,
Don't say it. Well, and it's it's got to be tough to be with Rob Machado because it's very obvious with that huge, beautiful hair. It's like, hey, Rob's over there.
Dead giveaway.
That's the thing I love about going to the beach with Rob or Kelly Slater is like when I'm anywhere like a beach parking lot with those guys, nobody notices me at all because it's like I got a superstar next to me that's way more noticeable, and so I can just kind of like head off to the surf and they're sitting there taking selfies with kids for like a day.
Jack, we love and appreciate you so much. The vibe that you bring has seeped into the center of San Diego as far as people, because people respect you. They love you. They show up at your shows with sold out tickets every single time. Remember the street scene? Remember that Remac Field show that we did? Just even small intimate stuff at Lou's, dude. The place is mobbed by super fans.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's out of hand. Like, we had to talk about it. Like, do we need to have special security if Jack comes through here? It's one of those things. We cannot wait to see you again at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That's in Chula Vista. It's a huge place. Plenty of people will fit there. Remember when you sold that thing out? Wasn't it X Fest? It was crazy. Yep. The pictures are still on the walls of how many people. They never fit that many people inside that place before.
I couldn't believe when we filled up the belly up or 4th and B. Like that was mind blowing to me. So thanks to everybody who's been coming ever since those shows.
Yeah. Oh man, 4th and B with the holiday shows. Awesome
so
stuff.
Cool.
Looking forward to that. I'm going to send you off with my favorite Jack Johnson song. Can I do that?
Right on.
It's a song you're on. It's your track from Thicker Than Water with G-Love. And
right on.
Rainbow is my favorite song from you. Real talk.
Yeah,
That song, you do so many things with so many parts and pieces, and you pick up the cadences. But that sweet, sweet song, Rainbow. I have told my wife. Gosh, I'm gonna get upset here. I've told my wife the day I die, if it's me before you, you got to play Rainbow.
Oh, that's sweet.
You gotta play Rainbow for the friends and family.
I'll tell you a quick story. Is the first time that G-Love and I ever got a chance to play music together. I was the first song he played me. He was working on. I played him Rodeo Clowns. He played me Rainbow, and we jammed those couple of songs for a few days along with some others. But that song, I remember every time we get together, I'd always like bring up that song, and we got to record that sometime, and we finally recorded it, and I love that song too. It's a beautiful song, and I can say that because Garrett wrote it, but I'm really proud to be part of that one.
No, so sweet to talk to you. Looks like you're in great health, sir. I mean, life's
Likewise.
Okay on the island over there?
Yeah, things are going good. I'm excited to be there, though.
Yeah, well, can't wait to see you. It's October 7th. We're going to meet some new people when we see Jack and Ben Harper here in San Diego. Much love. So much respect, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
thank
Jack.
You guys. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you.
Yes, see you.
Take care.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Thank you.
91X.